Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to SvendonLikesGames. I am Svendon, and today we are talking about shopkeepers in video games. Shops in games are great. They allow you to get new items, new upgrades, and overall improve your experience of the game. While some shopkeepers are pretty great, some of them kinda miss the mark. So I got to thinking about what are some examples of the worst shopkeepers in video games, and that is what we're going to talk about today. So, I think it's about time that we got started. Undertale is a fantastic game, and if you haven't played it by now, you really should rectify that. It's a game that accomplishes almost everything it sets out to do masterfully. One of the things that makes this game so great is the way that it satirizes many video game tropes, including the way that stores work. See, in Undertale, if you try to sell items at any of the shops in the game, you pretty much just get laughed out of the store because, as the shopkeepers will all tell you, if they bought all of the useless crap that you acquired on your adventure, they wouldn't have any money left to run their shop. So throughout the game, none of the shops allow you to actually sell items. Except for one. And that, of course, is the shop located in the Temmie Village. The Temmie Village is a sort of hidden area in the game, and it's populated by a race of, shall we say, intellectually challenged cat things. One of these cat things runs the local shop and is the first entry on our list. She makes this list because I don't think she quite understands the concept of running a store. We can see this especially in the way that the items are priced. We have a Temflake for 3 gold that heals 2 HP, which I don't even think I want to know what a Temflake is. Next, we have a discount Temflake for 1 gold that heals 2 HP. And finally, the expensive premium Temflake for 20 gold that heals 2 HP. Now, shouldn't there be some kind of scaling in these prices? Also, in a particularly ballsy move, this shop owner actually has an option that allows you to pay for her college. I can't say I've ever had a store owner do that, but hey, you can't blame anybody for trying. Now, as I mentioned before, this is the only shop in the game that allows you to sell your unused items. And this presents another reason why this shop owner is probably one of the worst in video games, and that is because you can exploit the absolute crap out of it. See, if I buy this discount Temflake for 1 gold, I can then turn around and sell that very same Temflake immediately for 2 gold, doubling my money. Which theoretically, if you had, I don't know, an hour to kill, you could just keep buying and selling Temflakes for eternity until you had a ton of money. In fact, you could probably do this until you got 1,000 gold, which would then pay for the Tem's college tuition with money that the Tem already had. Why didn't she just pay for college? I don't know. Now for the player, this area is very useful and it's a pretty funny area to visit, but in terms of the quality of management at this particular shop, let's just say, I don't think this little Temmie quite gets the concept. Paper Mario is a series that is chock full of shopkeepers, but none of them disappoint quite as much as Rip Cheeto. Now, Rip Cheeto makes this list because, come on, do I even need to say it? He lives in the freaking sewer! Just look at him! His name is Rip Cheeto! I mean, either his mother gave him that name, or he gave it to himself. Either way, he has made the conscious decision to operate a business under the name Rip Cheeto. That's all you need to know. And again, his shop is in the sewer. Have you ever even been in a sewer? I'm sure if anyone has ever been in a sewer, you probably don't have a lot of extra, disposable income on you anyway. But this guy is just moping around down there, sees a musty-ass room and says, this is perfect! All I gotta do is plunk down a table and a chair, a couple empty crates, a few dozen bottles of booze, and presto, I'm in business! Now, let's say, for the sake of argument, that you are a crazy person. You come to me, you say, Svendon, you magnificent stallion! Why do you gotta be so harsh to the guy? I mean, yes, sure, he lives in the sewer. Yes, sure, he looks like he would eat a child or two if given the opportunity to do so. Yes, sure, I am not 100% certain that he is even wearing pants. But let's hear the guy out for a sec. What is he selling? Well, if you must know, Rip Cheeto actually sells the Paper Mario equivalent of loot boxes. When you come to him for the first time, he offers to sell you something for 64 coins. That's right, only 64 coins for whatever's in the mystery box. And honestly, if you're ever accosted in the sewer by some big, semi-pantsless weirdo, and he offers to give you something for 64 coins, you'd probably do it. Especially if the guy looks like this. but you can't expect to get anything worthwhile out of it. I mean, yeah, okay, you get a star piece, you get a badge, none of it's particularly useful. Then all of a sudden he gets real shady and starts selling you overpriced versions of items that you can just get in any store in the game. Finally, at the end of it all, if you actually keep paying him, he will sell you nothing but dried shrooms in complete perpetuity until you just run out of money. Again, I just gotta say, what is this guy's business plan? I mean, does he really think that word of mouth is gonna spread like, hey, there's some weird guy in the sewer, he sells you random crap that's overpriced for 64 coins, oh, you gotta get down there. All you gotta do is fight through an army of aggressive spike turtles to get there, blow a hole in a wall, or, you know, go through the abandoned shack in Toad Town. You just gotta know that that's where you gotta go to get down there. But it's locked from the inside, so how does he think people are gonna get in here? Rip, you suck. Your business sucks. Get out of town. Alright, we're really getting into it now. We're talking about the king of nightmare fuel himself, the Happy Mask Salesman. Every time I see that face, I just wanna... But we're not talking about this Happy Mask Salesman, or the face. No, I want to take you back to a simpler time. A simpler, less child-grabby time. Yes, that's right, back to Ocarina of Time, where the Happy Mask Salesman was actually a Happy Mask Salesman. Well, sort of. Of course, the guy had to make this list for some reason, right? And that reason is, the Happy Mask Salesman is a lazy weenus. Now, the Happy Mask Salesman has one of the most asinine business models in the history of video games. See, if you want a mask, you figure you just walk in and buy it, right? But nope, that would be too easy. As I've hinted to already, the Happy Mask Salesman doesn't actually directly sell you a mask, he gives them to you. At that point, it's up to you to take that mask, sell it, return the money to him, and if there's any money left over, you get to keep it. Because you see, running a shop is hard. Selling things is hard. It's so much easier to exploit a child and violate, no doubt, several child labor laws in order to make a profit and not actually have to do anything. So once you've worked your way up the corporate ladder and sold all the masks there are to sell, what do you get for all your hard work? A mask. What else? It's not even a useful mask either. Not exactly a pink Cadillac, but that's all you're getting. And this is why this guy is so bad at what he does. I mean, if what you'd like to do is run the first pyramid scheme in video game history, at least do it right. I mean, come on, you don't just give the stuff away, you're supposed to sell it to me. What's to stop me from just pocketing the cash and never coming back? Oh, but I guess there is a consequence if you don't bring the money back. If you don't bring the money back, you get the face. I just love his wording here, like, you better bring me back my money or else! Or else what, Chotch? What are you gonna do, frickin' kill Link? And you know, I guess it is kind of interesting to see that the precedent for child abuse was set even all the way back in Ocarina of Time. I mean, seriously, this guy's threats really don't do a whole lot for me, because the one time he actually decides to, you know, get off his lazy wiener and do some actual work, what happens? He gets beaten up and robbed by a kid. Hey, I think we just stumbled upon a reason why this guy hates kids so much. You know, what it ultimately comes down to is some people just aren't cut out for certain kinds of work. And I think the Happy Mask Salesman should think about trying something else. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim is a terrific game. I love it, you love it, let's move on. This game is crawling with hundreds of NPCs and dozens of shopkeepers. So you may be wondering, how would you go about selecting even one of these shopkeepers for the worst shopkeepers of all time list? Well, the short answer is, I didn't. And that's because every single shopkeeper in Skyrim belongs on this list. Each and every one of Skyrim's shopkeepers make this list because of how easy it is to steal from them. Now, I know it's not fair to criticize a shopkeeper because other people steal from them. It happens all the time. But usually it happens with small things like packs of gum or lipstick. In Skyrim, because of the ineptitude of the people running these stores, it is very easy to walk out of a store with full-size weapons and entire shelves worth of knickknacks without the shopkeepers knowing at all. How do you not notice something like that? You work here all day, every day, and you don't notice that that entire shelf of crap is now missing? On top of that, there's the infamous bucket exploit, where you can take a bucket, place it over the head of the shopkeeper, and proceed to literally rob them blind. I just can't believe they allow this. Imagine you're working a retail job and some rando comes in, gently places a bucket on your head, and starts stealing stuff. How much of that bucket do you think would be able to make it on your head before you did something about it? Probably not a whole lot. But these people just stand there and take it forever, until the bucket just happens to fall off their head. Come to think of it, I can't imagine that these people actually even own this store. Like, how could you care this little about your stock that you would allow a stranger to come in, blind you, steal all your crap, and walk out? Maybe they got this apathetic because of how much thieving there is in Skyrim. Either way, you got a job to do, you gotta do it. If you ever find yourself willingly allowing a bucket to be on your head, for any reason, you know it's time for a change. And now it's time for the big reveal. The number 1 worst shopkeeper in all of video games is... Beetle! No, not that Beetle, stupid. This one, from Skyward Sword. Beetle from Skyward Sword is the worst shopkeeper in all of video games because, in the most mature terms that I can put it in, his shop is stupid and he's a dick. So let's go ahead and look at that store real quick. It's this giant, ridiculous flying contraption. Now, I get it, okay? Wind Waker was a water-themed game, so they gave him a shop on a boat. Makes sense. Skyward Sword is a bit more sky-themed, so they gave him a sky shop. Now, if I might ask a perfectly reasonable question, what function does having your shop fly around the city even serve? It is so unnecessarily dangerous, especially in a town as small as Skyloft. You're putting everyone in the town at risk of becoming a beetle pancake, just so that you can say that you have a weird flying shop and have a kooky selling feature to get people to come in your door. And it's even doubly ridiculous because there's a marketplace in Skyloft that has not 1, not 2, but 3 vacant stalls that he could easily set up shop in without endangering everybody in the city. Now, I talked a little earlier about people walking in the door, but in Beetle's shop, that's actually a lot easier said than done. Because of course, the shop is flying 100 feet in the air. So in order to get Beetle's attention, you have to ring the bell underneath it. So grab whatever projectiles you have and start firing away with reckless abandon in the middle of the city streets. Once you ring the bell, Beetle will send you down a rope. Not a rope ladder, just a rope. Are you trying to get sued? It's bad enough that you have this ridiculous store, but it's this hard to get in it? Not to mention, what about people that are incapable of climbing the rope? Like small children or the elderly. You got a town as small as Skyloft and you're actively working to keep certain people out of your store? What a jerk. So you've braved all the trials and are now worthy to enter Beetle's shop. You'll stare in horror when you figure out that the way that he keeps this shop afloat is by manually pedaling a bicycle. So yes, you are literally just 1 leg cramp away from a fiery death. Now, to be fair, Beetle actually sells some pretty useful items for you on your adventure. You got a wallet, you got an extra pouch, you got this heart thing that even he doesn't know what it is, because that's really great for a shopkeeper, you know, to not even know what you're selling. Yay, 800 rupees though, that's probably a fair price. Sure, it's shiny. But here's the thing about Beetle. Remember when I said that he's a dick? Well, this is where that comes into play. If you examine all of his items and try to leave without buying anything, he'll flat out just call you out for it.
I have to pedal so much harder when you're up here.
Yeah, well that's a pretty dang good reason why you shouldn't have a flying store to begin with. Then, while wearing the biggest shit-eating grin that I have ever seen on a Zelda character, he pulls a rope, opening a trap door, sending you falling to the concrete streets below. Again, are you trying to get sued? I think the worst thing about this whole thing is not the fact that he pulls a lever like a James Bond villain, sending you through a trap door, but the fact that he even has this thing at all. Like when this shop was built, he said, specifically, I want there to be a trap door so I can send people who don't buy anything through it. Because I'm a dick. Beetle's the kind of shop that I can see being out of business in a week, and it totally deserves it. Because you're lucky if you even walk out of this place with all of your bones intact. Well, that's the end of another video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like and comment, and if you want to see what comes next, hit subscribe. This is SvendonLikesGames, and I've been Svendon, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it. On the screen right now is my previous video, the top 10 assholes of Paper Mario games, if you want to check that out, and I hope to see you again. Bye-bye.